Hi guys, I am Rijo Joseph and I welcome you all to today's video. Well, first of all, those of you who have not subscribed the channel yet, please go ahead and subscribe this channel and press the bell icon for further notifications. Now, let's straight away get into today's topic, that is excusitis. You may be wondering what on earth is excusitis. Well, the term may be new for us, but every human being has suffered from this at least once in his lifetime, or maybe many a time. Derived from the word excuse, excusitis is a tendency, a disease, or a behavior pattern to find out excuses, one or the other excuse for not doing any kind of work or for not performing. Well, now let's now discuss how excusitis works in people. Talking about excusitis, a person suffering through excusitis will always try to find out a suitable excuse for not performing or for not doing his duty. A victim of excusitis always thinks in this way: well, I cannot do what I am supposed to do. So let's find out an alibi which will help me save my face. Well, I request you guys to come and comment below what is the meaning of alibi. Now, once I find out an alibi, let me have any kind of excuse, maybe poor health, bad luck, personal misfortune. Once this person who suffers through excusitis is able to find a suitable excuse for not performing, what happens is he sticks around with this excuse for his whole life for not performing. Now, as we are clear with what is an excusitis, let me discuss or tell you 4 different kind of excusitis that people suffer through and the ways and means to get rid of that excusitis. Number 1, bad health excusitis. The underlying statement of people suffering through this excusitis is, but my health is bad. I want to join a gym, but my health is not allowing me. I want to start up a business, but my health is bad. I want to take part in a hiking, or I want to go for physical activities, but my health is not allowing me. So everyone who is suffering through health excusitis is finding a reason for not doing their duties. We have heard from many years people making health excuses for not performing their duties. And people of all ages suffer through this. Sometimes kids don't want to go to school, just making an excuse that they are having fever. Sometimes people don't work to get their targets done, just putting their excuse of having a migraine. Well, don't get me wrong, guys. Here I am not blaming everyone who is suffering from a serious ailment. But let's analyze ourselves. Aren't we, in one way or the other, victims of health excusitis? Haven't we made an excuse because of ill health for not performing? Now, as we are clear with what is health excusitis, let me tell you 3 different ways in which we can get rid of health excusitis. Number 1, stop talking about your ill health in public. Yes, absolutely right. Now, why I tell you this is because I personally feel that the more we talk about our ill health, the more it worsens, even if it is a minute fever. Secondly, people listening to us, they are not very interested in listening to our ill health. The only people those who will be bothered to listen to you is your immediate family or your very good friends. But people in your workplace are not at all interested. It kind of bores them, right? And talking about ill health is putting fertilizer onto the weeds, putting fertilizer onto something that you don't want. So stop talking about your ill health in public. Number 2, refuse to worry about your ill health. Yes, you heard me right. You may not be talking in public or you may not be talking to people about your ill health, but in your mind, you may be worrying a lot about your ill health. Well, Dr. Walter of Mayo Clinic writes, the only thing that I recommend worriers is to have some self control. He talks about a person who used to get his gallbladder x rayed in every 2 months. And every time his x ray showed that his organ was functioning quite properly. The only advice Dr. Walter had for him was to stop x raying his gallbladder time and again. Because the more he x rayed his gallbladder, the more he used to worry about his health. And this is sometimes the same what we do to ourselves. Number 3, be grateful for whatever you have, whatever health you have. We have always heard about a story of a man who always used to complain about not having shoes until he met another man who had no feet. Gratitude is a sure shot method to have more of what you have in abundance. Having gratitude, being grateful about your health makes you focus on to the blessing of your health rather than focusing on the problems of your health. Number 4, it is always better to wear out than rust out. Yes, keep reminding yourself this statement time and again. It is always better to wear out than rust out. Go ahead and do things that you want to do in life and don't take shelter behind this ill health factor or ill health excuse. There will come a time when you are old enough and you will regret of not doing things in life that you could do today. So go ahead and do whatever you want to do today and don't let this ill health excuse stop you from doing everything that you want to do. Moving on, let's come to the second form of excusitis, that is intelligence excusitis. The underlying statement here is, I have no brains. All of us do two major mistakes with intelligence. We always underestimate our brain power and we always overestimate other people's brain power. Just because of these two errors, most of us underperform. Most of us suffer from not doing things that we are capable of doing. Dr. Edward Teller, one of the great physicists, was once asked, do you want your son to be a scientist? To this, his answer was, to be a scientist, a child does not need to score high scores in his school. A child does not need to have super intellect. A child does not need to have a lightning memory. All that matters is his intention and his interest in the subject that he is going to study. Yes, enthusiasm and interest in one particular thing is more than your intelligence, more important than your intelligence. You may be a mediocre in your brain power, but if you have or if you are interested enough in doing something, definitely it will be very easy for you to pick up or learn that thing easily. It is all about intentions. It is all about interests. So that brings me to 3 different ways in which we can get rid of health excusitis. Number 1, never ever underestimate your brain power. Every human being is gifted in one way or the other. Never underestimate yourself that you don't have brains. You are not able to do things that the other people are able to do. What you can do is train your brain, get educated, upskill yourself, and come up to a level where you feel that you are taking the work from your brain to that particular extent where it is giving you good results. Attitude is everything. It is very important to have a right attitudes towards everything, towards your life, towards the work that you are getting, towards the task that needs to be completed. Never focus on the reasons why you will not be able to do things. Always focus on the reasons that why you will be able to do certain things. Number 3, always remember that ability to think and create ideas is always of more value than the ability to memorize things. Your brain is not or should not be used for memorizing things. It is not to be used as a storehouse of facts For that, you can go ahead and do a journaling. You can write down things which you need to remember, but use your brain to create new ideas. Because if new ideas are created, we will excel in our life to a level that we can never even imagine. Well, I am too old kind of excuse is a very common excuse. And this disease is spread through various mediums. Television programs are produced about an executive who lost his job because of the company merger. And he is not able to get a new job just because of his age. Then he thinks of committing a suicide, and then he feels no, it's not good to do a suicide or to commit a suicide, but better to be on the shelf. These kind of stories may not be true, but they always attract people because the people are going through the same kind of mindset. People talking about midlife crisis and old life crisis are very popular. It's not because that every time they are true, or it's not because that they are correct every time. It's because they resonate with the people suffering from same kind of feelings in the society. So we need to check that what we are feeding into our brain with regard to age excusitis. Now, let's discuss the solution for age excusitis. Number one, look at your present age with positivity. Don't ever say that I am too old or I am too young. Just say I am at the perfect age to do this work. Those of you who feel I am too old, keep speaking to yourself. I'm just beginning to live my life, right? And this is the most suitable age for me to do the things that I want to do. Number two, compute the productive age that you are left with. If you are 30-year-old, you're still left with 80% of your productive age. And if a person is 50 years old, you are still left with 40% of your productive age. Most of the times, life is longer than most of us even think of. Number three, invest your future time in doing what you want to do. When you make statements like, it is very late for me to start investing. I should have done it earlier. It is very late for me to start working out or going to the gym. Or it is very late for me to start a business. I should have done it in my prime. That's a failure thought process. That's a failure thinking. You know how successful people think? They say to themselves, and they believe in this, that right now I'm going to begin with, and it is the right age to begin. And I am perfectly okay to carry on with my work even at this age. Let's come to the fourth and the last form of excusitis, that is bad luck excusitis. Well, the underlying statement of people suffering from this is, my case is different. I attract bad luck. People suffering from this kind of excuse always blame their miseries, their failures onto bad luck. And vice versa, this people who are victims of this bad luck excuse always talk about somebody else's success to their good luck. They will never credit the person for the hard work that he has done in his life. They'll just go and say that person became successful because he had good luck. Now let's talk about the ways and means to tackle this excuse. To tackle bad luck excuse, what needs to be done? There are two ways. Number one, accept the law of cause and effect. Well, let's have a second look at what appears to be someone's good luck. You, having a close look, will observe, or you'll come to know that it's not luck, but somebody's perseverance, somebody's planning, and somebody's motivational journey which has brought him success and glory. In the same way, when you say that you had bad luck, let's reanalyze that thing. It may not be bad luck, but certain actions which has brought us failure. Mr. Success receives a setback, he learns from it, and he becomes a victor. Mr. Failure gets a setback, he doesn't learn from it, and he again becomes a failure. This is all about it. The second way to overcome this bad luck or luck excuse is don't be a wishful thinker. Don't just daydream of having success without taking any actions. Just don't drain your brain muscles into imagining of success without taking concrete actions. Luck will not bring you a promotion. Luck will not bring you financial favors. Luck will not bring you financial freedom for that matter of fact. Only your hard work, perseverance, and taking actions for your dreams will bring about all the glory and all the success to your life. That's the end of the video, guys. I hope you like the content that we are creating. If yes, please hit the like button. It will help us to come up on the YouTube algorithm. Thank you. God bless you all.